From a graveyard, I woke up and realized I was a skeleton. What was this world? This dark and gritty looking dystopia was something I immediately took a liking to. Looks like I was now in ANEURISM IV. ANEURISM has the exact art style and visuals that I want every single game to have. You know it, I know it. It's the classic, dark and gritty. So let me give you a quick rundown of what ANEURISM IV is. It's basically an indie game that's about to be honest, I don't know what kind of game this is. I guess it's a immersive simulator. Well, okay, there's the city, and inside the city there are many people. That includes me and whoever is playing on the server. And us citizens can have different types of classes. Like for example, when you start, you're like a lost soul, and you need to possess a body. Possessing bodies cost anamnesites. Since I had 0, I could only possess a low-life laborer. A prole. In this video, I'll show you what my experiences were as this class type. Cause one problem I faced was that the server was most probably from the US, and me being in Pakistan, I got a very bad connection there, so the experience and the ping was very bad for me. After getting my body, I decided to look around the place and take in the atmosphere. I seriously love the texture work in this and the low poly art style. It has that depressing and cynical atmosphere to it. Like the overall style of the city is utterly dirty and dingy, but then you have shops and neon signs and stuff like that. Like, you know, you live in hell, but why not make the best of it? Like there's even a dance club in the city. In my journey, I also saw this guy, who I think was a police unit or something. I'm not familiar with the class types cause you have to possess them to play as them, so I only played as the prole, the laborer. What I also liked was the lack of any exposition, like there's no long dialogues or paragraphs to read. You have to put together the pieces by looking at the posters, the locations, and whatever the world has to offer. There was even a ritual pit. I decided to jump and see what happens, but then realized we need like 9 more sacrifices. After respawning and getting a new body, I decided to head to the factory where proles like me are supposed to work. And of course, this wasn't no ordinary factory. This was a wartime factory that made warheads. What we need to do is start the production line and verify that the warheads are wired correctly. If you approve a warhead that's not properly wired, well, this is the punishment. So you earn anamnesites here too, so you'll get 1 per warhead, but if you mess up, you get bombed and also lose 4 anamnesites. Unfortunately, I never got to the point where I had enough to possess a better body because I kept messing up and lost my anamnesites. Now, ANEURISM IV is still under heavy development. Every other day there are things being added and changed and fixed and whatnot. Hell, even while I was playing and recording, I had to stop because a new update dropped. And from my video, it might feel like a very simple game, but that is definitely not the case at all. You just don't have the factory, but there's workshops and machines and ingredients, secret hideouts, tools, and so much stuff in this that it honestly overwhelmed me because I'm not used to games like these. There's even housing and these consoles, and you can like bomb places from the looks of it. Like, geez, this is a very steep learning curve, honestly, and definitely there's players that like this sort of stuff. I definitely need a wiki or a guide though to read first before I jump into this. I feel like as more players discover this game, its true potential will shine then. And right now there were like 30 to 50 people at a time in the server whenever I logged in.
Anybody know where like contain? Oh shit. Man, I hope I can eat some fucking snacks soon. I'm about to die.
And me, with my bad ping, is not the best way to showcase this game, honestly. Anyway, I got back to the factory again, and this time a fellow prole gave me some really old smelly meat, so of course, I ate it and got to work. Then I got hurt on the job, and just my luck, a doctor visited the factory.
No problem. God, my eye is so itchy. Oh, fuck. What is in my eye? I think I got...
Then of course he got shot.
Dude, he was making money like the rest of us. What the hell?
You're the guy who killed me.
And me too. That was bad. Somehow this dude got his hands on a pistol and shot up the whole factory. I know people will immediately start making comparisons to the Dark RP game mode on Gary's mod, and I totally get that, but I feel like this game is just unique enough to warrant its own player base. I will definitely get back to this game once it's further updated and whatnot. I enjoyed my time here, walking around and taking in the visuals cause it heavily reminded me of the Half-Life 2 beta, so that's a definitive win in my book. I also think there's a need for a little bit of hints, some signposting in a way. Like I said earlier, I think it's good that the game doesn't dump the whole backstory and lore on you, but in terms of gameplay, I think there should be hints like pop-up hints in Half-Life 2 where it shows you what hotkey does what. Because it took me a long time to figure out that I could open my inventory or select a weapon by pressing the C key. Also, I didn't see it in the settings, but the sharpening effect is a little too much for my taste. An option to turn it on or off would be great too. Overall, the presentation is what caught my attention. This dirty, rundown look in games, and especially in indie titles, is something I love to see. The gameplay, while it isn't something I'm used to, has a lot of depth to it, and there's a whole workflow of keeping things going with the balance of power and all that struggle between the government and the rot. Oh yeah, although I didn't see it myself, the game has the rot in the city. Liquidators, who are basically the cremators in this game, erase the rot, while scumbag class types, I guess, spread the rot more. So in the end, it all becomes a giant sandbox with a player-run world and a power struggle and whatnot. Really good stuff, and I really hope the game gets updated more and more as time goes on and it gets new players. The developers are really open to player feedback and do the best they can to apply their suggestions. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to showcase this game because I think it looks pretty cool. Also thanks to Vellocet, the developers of the game, for sharing a Steam key with me and letting me check out their game. Thanks for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. Unusual, Taylor, The One Epic Player, Maddie160p, Joseph Stalin, Raccoon Eggs, 404 Not Found, Potato King, Corby, Needup, DeadX, Evox, Flaming Oddball, Paris 1911, The Geeler, ATSF GP30, Hawk, A Normal Street Lamp, Mr. Spabon, Geout, Nobody Important, T.S. Stromer, Scary Stalker, It's Juro, Scooms, Aoi, Imperial Embers, T-Boy301, Jack5282, Lucky You, Quiltman, 501st Cloneboy, TTG, Robocop Noel, Tedosaur, Lamdre, Roadkill, Walter, Fisher Grice, Hawkassault, Jelen, TRR Droid, and Bipolet. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.